Good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to Real Talk Weekly. We've got a hot topic this week. Why Warringah is the best place to live in New South Wales. I'm joined with my colleague Alex Muris. Stay tuned, guys. Alex, good evening.
Good evening. How are you, Harry?
Good. It's been a long Monday, but we've gotten through it. 8 p.m. We're doing Real Talk Weekly. We've got a hot topic. Alex, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the top-rated suburbs to live in Sydney, and in particular, why Warringah has scored that top position.
Nice. Beautiful. Top suburbs. What's number one? We've got French's Forest, don't we?
French's Forest is
I want to kickstart this coming from someone that's currently lived in French's Forest for the last week. Absolute cracker of a suburb. It didn't shock me in the slightest when we saw the data come out. French's Forest, guys, probably one of the most central suburbs on the northern beaches. And what I mean by central is that it's very, very easy to commute to places. You're only a 6-7 minute drive down to DY, and then you can catch a beeline to the city. And then at the same time, you can just commute really, really easily from French's Forest. Really, really good lifestyle. Very, very quiet, family-orientated suburb, which is not the case for that many suburbs on the northern beaches these days. But really, really, really well-balanced suburb. We've got the biggest Bunnings, and I don't think this has been talked about that much because the project hasn't actually been finished, but we've got the biggest Bunnings in the country.
Southern Hemisphere.
Southern Hemisphere. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Biggest Bunnings warehouse in the Southern Hemisphere being built at the very top on Rodborough Road. So that's also some exciting news. So there's lots of amenities that are being built in
Lots of industrial growth as well.
Lots of industrial growth, lots of amenities. You've got your restaurants, your cafes. You've also got a private hospital as well. So amenities are also a really, really big thing that play a big factor as to why French's Forest is probably one of the best, if not the best suburb in the northern beaches so far. Exactly. Alex, what's number two? Let's dive
number two. I don't know if there's number two, might be number three, but DY. DY is up there, yeah. And for someone who has lived in DY over the past nearly a year now, I can see why. It's very busy. It's not as homely as French's Forest.
It's different.
It is.
It's a different living dynamic.
Dense in terms of units, and they're a lot more popular. But it's just a coastal living right on the beach. Anywhere in DY is 5-10 minutes max from the beach. So that lifestyle of living by the beach and still being close to Pittwater Road for the Beeline bus to get straight into the city, and all the shops and everything around. It's kind of the central heart of kind of the northern beaches.
And everything's in DY. Like you name it,
Novak.
Novak. We're sitting in it. We're sitting in the studio right now at the Novak HQ. You've got Kebab World right next door. You've got, which is a big one, an absolute DY icon. You've got the beaches. You've got coastal living. Everything's really, really quite literally at your fingertips. There's just about everything on Pittwater Road when you're passing DY. You've got amenities. You've got restaurants. You've got cafes on Pittwater Road and on the Strand. You've got the library. Like you can almost name any amenity, and DY's just about got it. That's probably why DY's coming at number two.
Definitely. I thought we might even touch on, while we're talking about DY, then we go back to French's Forest's property growth. Property growth is great. I think,
I think what's interesting with French's Forest, and I think we'll see a lot of growth in the property market over the next 5 to 10 years, due to the fact that there's been all of this industrial growth around French's Forest at the top of Rodborough Road. We've had new warehouses and new storage units. They're about 85% completed. They're actually going to be complete in the next couple months. We've got the Bunnings, as we mentioned, and all of these amenities that are being built in real time, guys, is what's also contributing towards that really nice capital growth in the French's Forest area as well. So capital growth is always going to be it's always going to be present
Yeah,
in French's Forest.
Exactly right. And same as DY. I mean, we've got Casa Del Mar across the road. That's going up very fast.
Yeah.
Always construction happening outside the office, which is
A lot of
which is
projects.
good. Yeah, we've got the
A lot of
Havana
projects
down the road, right on Pittwater Road. So it's really central. It's really good.
Properties do very, very well in DY. Lot of demand in DY, just purely because of all of the amenities that you have. Like you see 1-bedroom units in DY. When I first started at Novak back at the start of 2024, you could find a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1-car space between the 600 to 650 mark. And now you'd struggle to buy a place under $700,000.
Yeah.
So that shows, that's real evidence that just shows that property prices do go up very quickly.
It does.
And people that purchase properties around the DY area, they do make a lot of capital gains from it.
And they do have an average percentage growth of about 11 to 13% annually, which is compared to the rest of the Sydney suburbs is outstanding. Yeah, it really stands out, which is why I think it's so high on the best regions to live, as well as kind of the median prices you just touched on. I think the median price per unit now is obviously majority are around the 2-bedroom, so you're ranging 900 to 1,500,000. So it's massive numbers for units.
And I think the last thing we'll talk about briefly, Alex, and I don't think this gets talked about often, community. I don't think DY's probably got the best community out of any suburb in the Northern Beaches.
Diverse.
And I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
We like doing a lot of positive stuff for the community. We've got those little I love DY magnets.
Yeah.
I'm sure most of you have seen them like running. If you have a coffee on a Saturday or Sunday morning at the Strand, you will definitely see a little I love DY magnet at all the cafes. I put them down there myself and bombard everyone.
Yeah.
But guys, I think DY has probably got one of the nicest communities. I think diversity plays a big role behind that. You see all of these cultures in DY. You've got Brazilians, you've got Indians, you've got such a really, really nice dynamic. And the Serbians, we can't forget. We work for Novak, we can't forget the Serbs. But really, really great diversity, very multicultural, and I think that's a really, really big driver, which is why we've got one of the best. DY's got one of the best communities out of any other suburb on the Northern Beaches, and I'd like to even put that out there, possibly Sydney.
Yeah, I agree. And for someone who hasn't actually grown up here, as soon as I kind of dipped my toes in the Northern Beaches area and started coming down here.
Let's talk about that. Where are you from, Alex?
I'm from Port Macquarie. So Port Macquarie's a small town, about 250,000 people.
Shit, that's quite.
I could be so wrong. It was somewhere around that.
And how does that sort of what are the similarities and what are the differences between what it's like living in Port Macquarie compared to the Northern Beaches?
The Northern Beaches is definitely still a beach style of living, but it's definitely a lot more fast-paced.
Right.
So there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more to do. As we just touched on amenities, the community is a lot more. Diversity is massive down here. Port Macquarie is still being it's a growing town, but it is still a very small town. It's very slow. A lot of people call it a retirement village, but that's not it. So that's what other people say. Can agree. But yeah, from moving down here, I wouldn't go anywhere else. I think it's a great spot, and I can definitely see why these suburbs are up there in New South Wales. Just being so close to the city as well. I think we touched on half an hour, and on the bus, on the ferry, you're in the city, you're in concerts, football. It's just endless, and you still get kind of the disconnection from the city life being here. It's really number one.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. I think we've covered it. I think we've just about covered all the hot topics about this. All right. Thanks, guys. Love ya. See ya. Have a fabulous evening. Enjoy your Monday evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you guys. Love ya. See ya. Bye.
Oh. See you, ladies. See ya.
Your aircon is dying next time.